What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. I thought today we would take a look at my 4 Polish bootleg Zuckus, Zuckai, whatever the plural form is. That's what I have here in front of you. And I thought you guys would like to take a look at them. I just got back one of these from Collector Archive Services. So I thought, given that I've got 4 of them now, it's time to take a look at them. And I'm also, at the end of this video, going to show off my buddy Lee's collection, as well as pull some pages from Jacob Brzezinski's book on the Polish bootlegs that I think you might find interesting. So first of all, let's take a look at this one on the far left. This was a purchase, I believe, from my buddy Lee. He has an unbelievable unarticulated collection across all of the characters, and I guess this was a double that he didn't need. This one is a first set, so the unarticulated bootlegs can either be first set bootlegs that came out around 1984, 1985, or there's also a second set that's later and a lot cruder, smaller in size. But the Zuckus is a first set character, and this one is made in black rubber. All of these are sculpted from the Hong Kong COO, which I believe we can show right here. I don't know if we'll get a good angle or not. Let's see. There we go. Hong Kong COO. There it is. So these are all just straight copies of the Kenner figures made by the bootleggers in Poland during the Cold War in the 1980s. This one is black rubber in great condition. It's got the red eyes and red mouth nodules, and then some blue paint around the eyes that's kind of faded right now. And the score reflects that. It's a 70 score, but very cool to add that one to my collection. And Lee was kind enough to sell that one to me, so thank you, Lee. And the other one, the first one I ever got, I got this one a long time ago and had it graded by Collector Archive Services a long time ago. Another first set unarticulated. This is the most common of all of the first set Zuckus. This is the most common color combination. The straight gray with the silver eyes and the red nodules. So very closely mimics the actual licensed figure. So not very difficult or expensive to pick one of these up. This one was graded 80. Let's see if we can get a close-up of this guy so you can take a closer look at him. Oh, come on, man. Every time you want your camera to focus, there he goes. All right. So this is a really nice example, really clean, but not particularly difficult to find. But it looks awfully nice. So the first set, unarticulated in general, unless they're wacky colors for this Zuckus character, they're not hard to find. But the black and the gray are easily the most common. And then I have 2 articulated bootlegs, and one of them is 3rd generation, which is this gold one, another one that's been in my collection for a long time. This is another one that's not very difficult to find color-wise. This color combination is probably the most common for the 3rd generation. And again, for those of you who are new to Polish bootlegs, the 3rd generation figures came out around 1994 or 1995, all the way into the late 1990s. And they're known to have really nice quality paintwork, obviously, since they're fairly newer. The weapon is a bootleg weapon. It's not a licensed Kenner weapon. You can see it's a little bit blockier than the actual licensed weapon, but let's see if we can, there we go. Really nice. But I like the gold color. This is the gold and the yellow. It's a nice contrast. Silver eyes with the black nodules, black accents around the gloves and boots. So really clean. This one graded 80 plus by Collector Archive Services. And again, not very difficult to find. This example has the Polish bootleg Biker Scout arms and limbs. So you can see that by the knee pads, the ammo pouches, and the shoulder gauntlets. A number of these Zuckus figures also use the TIE Fighter bootleg arms and legs. Either or. I would say that the Biker Scout's most likely more common, since I very rarely see ones with the TIE Fighter arms and legs, but they do make them. I've seen examples of that. And then finally, this is the newest example in my collection. Again, I got this from my buddy Drew. Drew, thank you very much for this one. This is an awesome example, easily the hardest to find of the 4 that you see in front of you. This one came with a 1st generation weapon that is molded in olive, kind of forest green colors. And so you know it's a 1st generation weapon, given the color palette. Most of the 3rd and even I think the second generation weapons were all black, to my knowledge. But the earlier generation weapons had color combinations that could be standard, like this green, or maybe a little bit more wacky. But this one is kind of a metallic, I don't know what the color, I guess a bluish metallic color with orange. A really nice example, and Drew was kind enough to sell this one to me. He knew it was going to a good home. Silver eyes, an orange nodule, or an orange nose piece, but the nodules themselves are not painted. Again, these can come with either TIE Fighter arms or the Biker Scout arms like you see here. But this one graded a 75, first generation. Really, really nice example. And I hope Collector Archive Services is watching. Please go back to the etched accessory cases. I like these so much better because you can see all aspects of the accessory. I'm just being picky, I know that, but it'd be really cool if we could go back to that style. I like that style a lot better, but I'm not complaining too much. But this is the one I just got, but we got 4 really nice examples here. None of them are particularly rare other than maybe the first generation one, but I'm going to cut right here and show you some other information in the book written by Jacob Brzezinski, as well as show off Lee's unarticulated collection. I'll be right back. I wanted to show you a few photos from the pages of Jacob Brzezinski's book, Far, Far Away. Here are some other colors of the unarticulated first set Zuckus. According to Jacob, Zuckus is one of the most popular figures in the series, and it's copied directly from the Hong Kong COO. About 70% of the known examples today are that gray color like you see in my collection. Other colors were black, blue, grayish white, and 3 rarely found today, red, brown, and yellow. According to Jacob, there are about 140 examples known of this first set unarticulated Zuckus. I want to show you a few examples of this unarticulated Polish Zuckus from my buddy Lee's collection. Thank you, Lee, for allowing me to show these during my video. Lee has really put together a beautiful set of unarticulated Polish figures across all the different characters, but some of these are his most gorgeous, with the green and now this blue one with the red eyes. He obviously has the silver with the blue eyes, and here's all 6 of them together. They look awfully nice. Thank you again, Lee, for allowing me to show these off. One of these days I'm going to find that blue one and that green one to add to my small collection of fairly common ones, but I really appreciate you allowing me to show these off to other viewers. Finally, before we wrap this video up, I wanted to show you a few other examples of the articulated Zuckus. On the left-hand side is a 3rd generation from the 1990s with a neon green and yellow accents. I've been looking for everywhere for this one, but I just can never seem to snag one in time before someone else buys it. It's much more rare than the gold and yellow example that I have in my collection, and one I'm definitely looking for. And then on the right hand side you see some other first generation Zuckus figures. There are several different color variations. There's kind of a silvery gray example, obviously the one like I have, and just to note, the arms can either be the Biker Scout arms like you see here or the TIE Fighter arms. There's also one with a matte finish that is first generation. According to Jacob, there are about 45 first generation examples and maybe about 50 or so from 2nd and 3rd generation. I hope that you guys enjoyed this look at my Polish Bootleg Zuckuss, and if you liked it, please be sure to like and subscribe for future videos. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to be back soon.